What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. First and foremost, I hope everyone had a great weekend, but it is a brand new week and it's time to grind once again, as we are going to continue the New Look 5-year rebuild series, as today we will be doing the Charlotte Hornets. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Also, if you're looking for a share scenario, a few things happened over the weekend and I did update it, so if you want to check out a share scenario, if you search up Bumeo, however you say it, just go ahead. Even though it's my gamer tag, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Long story. Regardless, that doesn't matter. If you're looking for a share scenario, look that one up. I think I did the Zaire Williams trade, the Sam Hauser extension, Evan Mobley extension. So all of that is in my file now, and I've uploaded it as well. So make sure to check that out if you're looking for a share scenario. But back to the task at hand. We're doing a 5-year New Look Charlotte Hornets rebuild. And the Hornets, they didn't change like drastically or anything, but they have made a few changes. So of course, as far as re-signs are concerned, they re-signed Miles Bridges, they brought back Seth Curry, but the new additions are like Tijon Salon in the draft, they brought in Josh Green in the sign-in trade that I think sent Clay to Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, and then Reggie Jackson got sent over here in a salary dump because the Nuggets needed to get under the luxury tax. So yeah, a few things that the Hornets have done. They have a brand new head coach as well, Steve Clifford, I think either stepped down or moved into the front office. But yeah, so a very exciting Hornets team. The main problem with this team right now is, of course, their best player, LaMelo Ball. As good as he is, he definitely has had his injury struggles as of late. Brandon Miller, of course, is another star in the making potentially in Charlotte. Looked phenomenal his rookie season. Hoping to build on that. And then Mark Williams is also a really nice piece. So this team definitely has some good young pieces, but it's just a matter of putting it all together. They've been in the plan a couple times with LaMelo Ball, but they just haven't been anything serious yet, which is why I'm here to try to change that today. So if you look at player progression, you got LaMelo up to a 90. Brandon Miller up to an 86, Miles Bridges 82. You got Trey Mann up, you got Grant Williams up, so all that's fantastic. But let's just go ahead and get straight into year number 1, and then we need to figure out what we're going to be year 1. Are we going to be a good team? We're going to be a play-in team? I think if I had to predict in real life for Charlotte, I would imagine they're like a borderline play-in team, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to say they would be. It wouldn't surprise me if they were a play-in team, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they were just a lottery team. That's kind of where they're at as a roster right now. They're doing some good things, don't get me wrong, but it's just a matter of when they eventually get there, we'll see, what is it that eventually gets them there is basically the question I have. We got to figure that out today. So let's get straight into next season. Wow, we have 18 players on a roster, so we actually have to cut a couple guys. So I know for a fact that KJ Simpson and Leaky Black are on two-way contracts, but unfortunately, I can't convert them to two-ways, I don't think. 2K is going to let me do that, so... yeah, that kind of sucks. So yeah, I don't think I can convert him to a two-way or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. So unfortunately, can't do that. Can't go that route. So I know who we're going to cut. So we're going to cut Amari Bailey, because I don't even think he's on the Hornets team in real life. He might be. I could be wrong. We're going to cut Amari Bailey. They did sign Taj Gibson, and I don't think he'll be that significant in the video. Maybe they cut him before the season starts, but they did give him $3 million, so maybe they keep him around for that veteran leadership. We can cut Reggie Jackson, because he got traded here for a salary dump anyway. They got the 3 seconds. So if we're going to cut somebody, I guess it could be Reggie Jackson. Now we're going to make one more cut. I guess it's going to have to be Leaky Black. I feel bad for doing it. Or we could... Do we just cut Gibson? Because, he's not going to be that important in the video. Yeah, he's a veteran for this season. But, I understand in real life. But in 2K, it's really not going to matter that much. So I guess I'll just cut Taj Gibson. And we get straight into the season. So let's take a look at what the rotation is going to look like. So, looks like Charles Lee prefers a post-centric. That is probably not what we'll be running. I'll be completely honest with you. But... regardless, let's get that out of the way. So let's change him to start things off, because we will definitely not be running a post-centric. We don't have anybody to be running a post-centric system like that. So let's go to balance like we should be, and let's take a look at what it looks like now. So here's the rotation. So it's LaMelo Ball, Trey Mann, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. So of course I agree with Mark Williams, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball. That makes all the sense in the world. Do we want to start anybody over Trey Mann is my question. So I feel like Josh Green could maybe be a starter. That wouldn't surprise me necessarily in real life. Oh, and I forgot about Tijon Salon. We got to get Tijon Salon some minutes as well. I think what we're going to have to do, though, is about we have to move him to small forward. Hopefully he goes up if we do that. So let's start there. So yeah, he's up to a 76. So that should get him in the rotation. We don't want Salon not playing in year 1. So let's go ahead and put him in there somehow. So he will be in... No, he's still out of the rotation. Cody Martin was pretty good last year for them. But I guess if I had... Well, we're going to run a 10-man rotation first and foremost. So let's do that. The 10-man rotation, get all these young players playing. It leaves Nick Smith out, which I feel bad about. How do we do this, man? How are we going to do this? So I think... All right, so I got to fix the rotation up for a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Trey... What is Trey Mann listed at? Trey Mann is listed at point. Wait, is he listed as... Or no, he's right there. He's right in front of my freaking face. Shooting guard spot. Okay. Let me fix this up a little bit. I know what I want to do. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so I think that's how we're going to run the rotation. It's going to be LaMelo Ball. Josh Green is going to start. Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Nick Richards, Grant Williams, Trey Mann, Cody Martin, and Tijon Salon. I'm going to give Tijon Salon more minutes than Trey Mann. I want Salon to play quite a bit. I want him to develop into something special for us, hopefully. Now, that does leave Nick Smith out of rotation, which I feel a little bit bad about, but I guess we can send him to the G League this year. And then I'm also going to go ahead and send KJ Simpson there as well. So that's what we'll run for year number 1. Obviously, we don't have any like playoff expectations or anything like that. I just simply want to see how this team does. Melo Ball and Brandon Miller, shot tendencies. So Brandon Miller's shot tendency sucks. Let's fix that for sure. So let's push that up to like an 80 because we need him to be the second star here, of course. And then I do want to move Josh Green's up a little bit since he's going to be the starting shooting guard. If he could average like 11 points per game or something like that, that'd be kind of nice. Touch tendency doesn't need to be up that high. And we go like 72 on him. Miles Bridges could be like a 73. All right, let's go ahead. So like year number 1, and let's see how this team does. I have no idea what to expect. I could see this team being pretty good in the sim. I could also see us being pretty bad. So, you know, I'd be fine with either way. Let's just see what happens. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares designed to help you beat the sportsbook, and we're starting on Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So if you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, any of those other DFS apps, having a tool like this is very valuable to you. So basically how it works is compare discrepancies across sports books, and it's designed for these, you know, like I said, DFS apps. So you have PrizePicks up here, you have Underdog, Parlay Play, Better, so many different options on here. So if you look at the board right now, baseball is also back, so that's going to help out value a ton. But let's just go ahead and take this one for example. Now, this could be an NBA player one day once we're in the NBA season, but if you look at this, you got this guy at 29 over on PrizePicks. You have 3 other apps giving you different data points. So Underdog has it at 30.5. While Hot Streak has it at 32.5, and Parlay Play has it at 29.5. It would literally make no sense for us to go to Hot Streak and take the over at 32.5. We can get it at 29 on PrizePicks. You kind of see how this works. It compares discrepancies. You get the best bang for your buck on these DFS apps, which is why having a tool like this is so clutch. And another example, even though there's like no discrepancy here, as you can see on Trent Grisham, every single sportsbook is favoring him to go over a base. So you're not simply betting with your gut or thinking about what's going to happen. You simply trust the data and the analytics, and it takes you a long way. I absolutely promise you this is the way to go about. If you're serious about betting on sports, I promise you, if you devote your trust into the data instead of your own gut, it is going to change so many things for you. And you got to check these out, man. And then we're going to go to OddsJam as well. So kind of the same thing. They have a DFS optimizer as well. DGF has an AI slip generator. So if you didn't even want to build your own slips, it like literally makes slips for you. It's actually really cool. So you could go ahead and plug this in on Underdog, or you can come over here and there's another one. So it makes slips for you, which is really cool. And then back to OddsJam. So OddsJam, like I said, they have a fantasy optimizer as well. But this positive EV tool, which is something I use on a regular basis now, is it compares discrepancies once again, but on traditional sportsbooks. So, for example, if we look at this Fanatics play, while there's not a bunch of data points on it right now because it's, you know, kind of late, it's not even really the day of the games. But as you can see at Fanatics, it's minus 125 for this to be under 8.5. And if you look at Rebet and FanDuel, minus 142 and minus 150. Like, clearly, there's a discrepancy here, and it would make no sense, just like I said earlier, for us to take this on FanDuel. So you guys got to check these tools out. They're so helpful to you. Links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables for percentages off your first month. OddsJam has a 7-day free trial as well. Make sure you check them out. Both links in the description. If you want to be a much profitable sports bettor and you're serious about betting on sports, these are the tools that will take you a long way. Check it out. I promise you I wouldn't be telling this if I didn't believe in it. On that, let's get back to the video. So I kind of told you I didn't know how season number 1 would go, and we'll look at how it went in just a second. But Luka Doncic wins MVP. Alex Sarr is your rookie of the year on the Wizards. Russ is your 6th man on the Nuggets. Cool to see that. Wemby defensive player. Cade's most improved. And Trae Young's clutch player. Jason Kidd coach of the year. And Jordan Hobson is your executive. And back to Luka being MVP. So here's your NBA first team. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw LaMelo on one of these teams right away. And we do get LaMelo Ball. So LaMelo Ball makes an All-NBA third team. Yeah, he's kind of a beast in 2K. 22-8 and was very efficient at doing it. And here's all offensive first team and all defensive second team. So 2K, and then as far as Tijon Salon, he did make an all rookie second team, averaged 10 off the bench. Love to see that. He only played like 16 minutes as well. So that's a very encouraging sign for his development. But we ended up being a playoff team. So 2K thought Charlotte had enough talent to make it in, which is exciting as we're the 6th seed in the East. Now, I don't think we're about to go to win a championship in year 1, but I knew we kind of had a talented team, and 2K agreed with that. So Melo, 22, 18.5 from Brandon Miller, 14.5 from Miles Bridges, 13 from Josh Green, 11 from Salon, and then Mark Williams with 9 and 8, and then 9 from Richard. So, as I mentioned, a lot of talent on this team. I'm not too surprised to see us doing this good. That's phenomenal. Love to see that for us. But let's go ahead and see how these playoffs are going to go. So, they're going to put Cody Martin in the starting 5 for these playoffs. Very interesting. Now, I don't want to bench Tijon Salon for these playoffs, but I don't know who I'd take out over him. I want him to get some playoff minutes. So, I don't want to take out Josh Green necessarily. What did he do? 13. Yeah, so he was phenomenal. 13 points per game on 40% shooting from 3. We're not taking that out of the rotation. I guess we're going to run a 10-minute rotation. I don't love doing that, but it is what it is. So we get Philadelphia in round 1. More than likely, we're going to get eliminated regardless of what we do. So Philadelphia acquired Tyus Jones and Andre Drummond, and 2K thought it's a great idea for the 76ers to start Drummond with Embiid. Okay. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Still make current round against Philly, and we're going to beat them in 7 games. Okay, I don't understand, but you know what? I won't question it. We're off to a good start in today's video. That's all I'll say. Now we get the New York Knicks. There's absolutely zero chance we beat the Knicks in second round, right? Like, there's no way. So, yeah, we get swept. The fact that we beat Philly was kind of wild. Now, they did have a really funky starting 5 with Drummond starting, so I guess maybe I could have expected it. But you have New York and Minnesota, and the Knicks go on and win it all. So, shout out to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Finals MVP. I guess his pay cut paid off. So, LeBron James is going to retire. But let's get to work. So, already off to a great start in this video. Now, unfortunately, our first round pick is headed to San Antonio since we made the playoffs in the stacked draft class, but it is what it is. What can you do? So, yeah, San Antonio's going to get our pick at 19, which sucks, but like I said, no big deal. The fact that we made the playoffs is exciting and encouraging, and it gives me kind of the motivation to keep building here. Try to maybe be a little bit more aggressive this offseason. Maybe we could be a contender sooner than I initially thought today. So that's exciting, I guess, but let's fill out this coaching staff. So we got 4 guys willing to sign on some good ratings, which is fantastic. And then all we need is a guard guru. And then we got to figure out what's next. Because I like the starting 5 we have. Josh Green was pretty good last year at the starting shooting guard, although they started Cody Martin. We have, Miles Bridges would be the guy I'd be fine with trading away, I guess, if I was going to upgrade anywhere. But it's just a matter of, is it the right opportunity to take that chance? And, it depends who pops up. So we have 19 and 27. Kind of late second, so I'll let my assistant GM take whoever they want. So we got VJ Miller. I'll take VJ Miller, and it won't let me two-way this guy, so I guess I'll just sign... I'll sign VJ Miller. I won't worry about the other guys. So Mitchich, $8 million. I think I'm going to decline it because we do have Trey Mann, who I think I want to pay this offseason, and then Nick Smith is also coming from the G League, so I don't think there's any reason to keep Mitchich around, unfortunately. Mark Williams, Brandon Miller, of course, no-brainer except those. And then, yeah, Trey Mann's a free agent, so is Leaky Black. And then let's get into free agency. So, Trey Mann wants $11 million. It's nothing crazy. He is our backup point guard at the moment, although Nick Smith is probably ready to take that role as well. We have Cody Martin here. Josh Green, I really liked what he did last year. Brandon Miller, Tijon Salon. So, Salon could maybe eventually develop into that starting power forward for us. I don't want to say it's there just yet, but it's possible. Miles didn't do too bad last year. 14.5, 35, but he's not a guy that develops like crazy in 2K, which is why I'd be fine with moving on from him if we need to. Just a matter of figuring out, who do we trade him for? Do we want to move him? So I don't think, regardless, I don't want to let Trey Mann go for nothing. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. So let's give him a 3-year deal, income to a new contract, bring him back. So that way we have him. We have the talent at least. And now it's time to figure out, what do we do next? Is there anything else that we want to do? So we do have like an MLE, like a full mid-level exception to sign anybody else if we want to. But I'm not really sure I want to sign anybody. I think we kind of have a full rotation as it is. Like, we have guys everywhere. I just simply had to figure out, do we want to trade Miles Bridges for an upgrade while guys are cheap? Like, Salon's still on his rookie contract, so is Brandon Miller. So that's kind of where I'm at. So let's figure that out. Let's see what options there are. And then we'll figure out if there's like an aggressive trade we want to pursue and include Miles Bridges in that trade to try to make something happen here. So I was kind of looking around the league on who we could get to bring in as our brand new forward, and I kind of have an idea of who could make a lot of sense for both sides, and I go to the Denver Nuggets, and I'm looking at Michael Porter Jr. I think Michael Porter Jr. would be phenomenal for us, and I think Denver could get the necessary depth that they need to move on from MPJ. They're going to have to re-sign Jamal Murray this offseason. They need to get off Michael Porter Jr.'s contract because they've been fighting the CBA. They need to turn Michael Porter into depth because that's been their problem. They haven't been able to trust their depth whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer them Miles Bridges, who would be a really solid replacement for them. So Miles Bridges, and then we can give them Cody Martin as well because we have Nick Smith and Trey Mann who are ready to step up at those backup guard spots, which is why Martin is a necessary piece we can move on from. So Miles Bridges and Cody Martin already that's 2 really solid pieces for Denver that they could justify trading Porter Jr. for. That way they kind of have, you know, depth. They need depth, and they have veterans that Mike Malone could trust, and Miles and Cody Martin. And then we could also offer maybe like if we wanted to offer anything else, but let me just try to leave it at that. So Miles and Cody Martin for MPJ. They don't agree to it right away, which kind of sucks. Would have loved if they just said yes, but they say no. What if I threw in VJ Miller and they agree? So just like that, we get the guy that we wanted in Michael Porter Jr. So now we have MPJ and Brendan Miller. The three-point shooting we have on our team is phenomenal. Love to see that. And I think Michael Porter Jr. long term will be better than, you know, Miles Bridges will be in this simulation, which is why we also did it. And plus, we have the ability to pay Miles Bridges or pay Porter the rest of his contract. And then once he's ready for extension, he'll be cheaper more than likely. Brandon Miller still has a few years left in his rookie contract. So it all lines up. It makes sense for Charlotte to pay Michael Porter's huge contract. Well, it makes sense for Denver to trade Michael Porter for depth. Now, you could argue Denver maybe needs more than just Bridges and Cody Martin, but that's still really 2 good pieces they just got for them. So I love that for Denver, and I love that for us as well, which is why I'm very happy that we did that trade. So now we can have a set rotation. So now we have Trey Mann and Nick Smith as our backup guard duo. Josh Green stays the starting shooting guard. So Tijon Salon, obviously, he may never enter the starting 5 now, but we'll figure that out down the line. So Brendan Miller, Michael Porter's our forward combination, and then Mark Williams and Nick Richards. So all of that looks fantastic. I love how that went. So now Leaky Black can come back in his qualifying offer, and we got better. So we didn't stick around. We didn't stand around and say, okay, hey, we made the playoffs last year. We won a series. Let's just run it back. No. We decided, let's go get better. And I guess the Nuggets didn't even get Jamal Murray back, so whatever. But LaMelo Ball up to a 92. You have Brandon Miller up to an 87. Mark Williams up. Tijon Salon's up to an 80. So he's developing really nicely. So maybe when Porter's contract is up, there's no need to keep him around in Tijon Salon. It's not like we gave up a first to get Porter. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal if we just lose him for nothing. But more than likely, I won't let that happen. And then for, you know, like I said, Denver side of things, Miles Bridges actually regressed. So I feel good that we got rid of him. And now I guess I can move. I can also help out Denver. Well, I got to wait. But I'll probably move one of Bridges or Aaron Gordon to small forward. That way they kind of have their starting forwards there. But I like it a lot. So Michael Porter, brand new power forward here in Charlotte next to Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. We got better. We've improved. And I can't wait to see what we do in year 2. So Shea wins MVP. You got Igor, I don't know how to say that name. Igor, Rookie of the Year. Nicole is your 6th-man Wemby Defensive Player. Rob Dillingham, Most Improved. And Giannis is your Clutch Player. And Mark is your Coach of the Year as they went 71-11. Damn, John Murphy is your executive. So here's your NBA first team. Does LaMelo make another All-NBA team? He does. All-NBA third team for him once again. All-Defense first team and All-Defensive second team. All-Rookie first team. Igor, which he was drafted at pick 7. Okay, very interesting. I don't know if I've heard of him. And then Cooper Flagg, Washington Wizards, all-rookie first team, Ace Bailey, and then we didn't really have any rookies representing us, obviously, because our pick went to the Spurs, but we did end up being the 2nd seed, so it looks like the Porter trade really worked out this year, which is great. So you had 22 after LaMelo, 18 for Brandon Miller, 14 from Porter, 13 from Tijon Salon, 12 from Mark Williams, 11 from Josh Green, and 10 from Trey Mann, 9 from Nick Smith, and then 7 and 7 from Nick Richards. So I did extend Nick Richards at the extension deadline. He was willing to sign an extension. We got him for like $8 million a year, which is really good backup center money. So I'll absolutely take that. And then Grant Williams averaged like 5 down here. So let's see how we do in these playoffs, and we can talk about the game plan for seasons, you know, coming up. But we get Chicago in round 1, who has Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Corey Kispert, Patrick Williams, Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Alonzo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu, Jalen Smith, and Bol Bol. So let's go ahead and my current round against Chicago, and we are going to beat them in 5. So already off to a great start. Now, we do run into the Knicks once again. Of course, this team did bounce us last year. Would love to see if we can maybe put up a little bit more of a better fight here, or maybe even potentially beat them here. So Josh Green gets demoted. I guess Trey Mann is going to start in these playoffs. Leaves Grant Williams out of the rotation, which I feel a little bit bad about, but I do ultimately want to run an Iron Man rotation against a team like the New York Knicks. So that being said, somebody current round against them, and we are going to be in an even series with them. So let's go to Game 5 Simcast. And let's see if we can win this Game 5 and give us a huge advantage in this series in round 2. And if we can get to the conference finals in year number 2 with this Hornets team, that'd be super exciting. So we are going to win Game 5. That's a great start. But now it's time to see if we can seal Game 6 and push ourselves into the conference finals in year number 2 of this rebuild. And it's looking good right now. As long as we keep the lead, we're going to the conference finals. And we are going to go to the conference finals 24, 24, and 23. 18 and 15 for LaMelo. Love to see it. We get the 8th seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, who just extended Evan Mobley. They signed Caruso as their starting small forward, which is kind of nice. Greg Porter, Taurean Prince, Jalen Tyson, and Chris Boucher. I believe Jalen Tyson had like a great summer league game that I saw. And then now we get to play either Oklahoma City or Dallas if we beat the Cavaliers. So let's run our rotation once again. And let's see if we can beat the Cavs to get to the finals in year number 2. So once again, we got another even series on our hands. Of course, Cleveland's always a tough matchup. So right now we do have the lead here in a game 5 that would, like it was in the next series, it'd be pivotal to win this one. And we are going to win game 5. Now, can we do the same thing? Go to Cleveland and win this game 6 is the question. Josh Green's going back in the starting 5. If we win this game 6, we're in the NBA Finals and literally year number 2 of this rebuild, which would be just fun and fantastic. Now, we have to get back in this one. We're right on their tail, but I don't know if we take it from them at the end. It would be beautiful if we did. We do take it for a second, and man, what a close one. We almost took it on their home court. We go to a game 7, back to Charlotte. Game 7 to get to the finals. Come on, man. Let's do it. We were so close last game, and now Cleveland's going to have our number here unless we get back in this game. We're down 8 with 8 minutes left. All right, so we're making it closer, which is great. This is only year number 2. Back and forth game. If we run away with it, we're going to the finals. It's a tie game with a minute 50 left. We want drama this early. I think we got to jump in and watch this last minute 30. Year 2, and we're already jumping in and watching what's going to happen. That's crazy. All right. Well, we have Cleveland has the ball. So, of course, I'm not going to play this. We're going to watch and see how the team does that I assembled. So, 125 to 126, game 7 to get to the finals. Taurean Prince is inbounding the ball. He's going to give it to Mitchell. You got LaMelo on, that's Josh Green. Sorry, Josh Green on him. He gets a screen from Jarrett Allen. Donovan Mitchell. Ooh, okay. I don't know what he was going to... It looked like he was going to drive. Then he stepped for a mid and good defense. Get the rebound. Let's go. So we have the lead right now by 1. Giving it to LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is going to have... Shoots a 3, I think? And he's going to miss it. But Trey Mann, of all people, gets the offensive rebound. 125 to 128. Holy moly. The fact that Trey Mann's the one that gets that offensive board is crazy. Although he was in great positioning. So it's not like that surprising. But yeah, compared to having like Jarrett Allen down there, it's kind of wild. All right, so we're up 3. We can't screw this up, right? I mean, Mitchell can easily hit a 3. So Jarrett Allen's going to drive. And LaMelo, holy moly, strips it at the very end. That was a nice strip. It looked like Allen had a wide open dunk. But let's see what we're going to do here. So we're going to give it to Jarrett Allen. Mark Williams on him. Going to give it to Mitchell. Josh Green sagging all over him. And we're going to get another stop. Beautiful defense by Josh Green. Looks like Porter has the ball here. Let's see what we can do on this position. Going to give it to LaMelo. Slow it down. If we hit a basket here, that could be game. Evan Mobley guarding LaMelo. Going to give it to Josh Green. Josh Green, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Going to get a screen from Mark Williams. Going to give it to Mark Williams. Mark Williams going to shoot over Allen. I hate that possession there. And they have a chance to tie this. That was a terrible possession. Okay. Garland has the ball. Josh Green, don't let him hit a 3. Okay, they're going to give it to Mobley in the midi. And Porter's all over him. And that is beautiful defense. Once again, we've got another stop. And that might mean that we are going to the NBA Finals in year number 2 of this video. Absolutely beautiful stuff. LaMelo, 125 to 129. And if we can, hit these, and then Cleveland's going to have a timeout. Okay, so we missed one. So it's not over yet. If we get a stop, though, I think it's safe to say this game is over. We got to get a stop, which we've done so far. We've stopped them every time, I think. So, beautiful defense thus far. We're up 4, so it's still a 2-possession game technically, unless you do an N1-3. But Mitchell... About to get the ball, I assume. Yep. Going to give it to Mitchell. Josh Green all over him. Screen from Mobley. Michael Porter switches it. Evan Mobley, he loses the ball. He loses the ball. And that is going to be game. We are going to the NBA Finals in year number 2. As long as we hit, these free throws, which we make the first one, make the second one. That is game. Or I assume he makes the second one. Oh, he misses it. Okay. Jarrett Allen's going to have the ball. But that's game, man. We're going to the NBA Finals. Let's go. Well, now we get to play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals. So, yeah, this one should be interesting. Of course, OKC just won 71 games, so we got our work cut out for us here. We do win game 1, though, so that's a good start. They evened it up. Game 3 goes to us. Okay. 2-2. So we have another tie series, game 5. This one's in Oklahoma City, though. They have home court advantage in this series. If we win game 5, though, especially in OKC, we have it. No, we're not going to win it, though. Okay. We're going to lose, unfortunately, in game 5, but now we got to win game 6 to tie this series to take it back to 7 at OKC. We got a close one here, so we're not done just yet. It looks like we might, unless we blow it at the end. And no, we are going to force a game 7. So game 7 for the championship. I think we go 8-man rotation here. Absolutely go 8-man rotation. So All right, 8-man rotation for this game 7 to win a championship in year number 2. Simcasting this one in OKC. It would be beautiful if we get it. So first quarter, we beat them by 14. Second quarter, we beat them again. Don't blow it, man. Don't blow this. We have them right where we want them. And I think we've gotten a championship in OKC almost came back. But nope, it does not matter. In year number 2, we bring home a championship. So that Michael Porter Jr. trade really paid off. LaMelo Ball, Finals MVP, 24-8. Beautiful stuff. But this is only year number 2. We got 3 more seasons upon us. But the fact that we got the championship out of the way is a beautiful feeling. But can we go back to back? Can we 3-peat? Can we 4-peat? Probably not. Probably not doing that much. But let's go to the lottery. This obviously is going to matter for us because our pick's going to be very last now. And it is going to be 30th. You got Lakers at number 1. So now, if we did lose that series, I had a very interesting decision to make at next year's deadline. Because if you really look at things, if I show you what my thought process was if we would have lost, you look at this. Look how much expiring salary we have, bro. We have so much expiring salary. And expiring salary, as we know, is very, 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 very valuable in the new CBA. So we could have offered Porter's expiring contract, could have offered Josh Green's expiring contract, could have offered Grant Williams' expiring contract, Mark Williams. Like, if there was any star available, we maybe could have made something happen. That's all I'm going to say. So, you know, I'm not saying we're going to do that now, but that's, I just had that in the back of my head. If we would have lost in the second round or something and had to make another move, we would have had the expiring salary to go after anybody we wanted. You know, I don't know if we would have had the, assets with first round picks or anything, but that doesn't matter because we won. So we'll be drafting at pick 30. So, of course, we're going to get expensive very fast. So we got to make sure we're hitting on these late picks still because, even though we won, it doesn't mean everything. So we get Sid Guy out of Senegal, which is nice. The welcome to Charlotte, who's a 75 overall. Wow, okay. I will absolutely take that at 30th overall. Brandon Miller, Tijon Salon, Nick Smith, accepting all of those. Qualifying offers, Mark Williams. So, yeah, Mark Williams is about to be a free agent. KJ Simpson's a free agent as well. 2 guys I do want to bring back, even though KJ Simpson hasn't really inserted in the rotation. So, as you can see, Mark Williams asking for a boatload of money. 12-11 in a block. Now, I'm probably going to take this to the last day of free agency. That's what I usually do with guys that ask for maybe a little bit more money than I want to spend. But I do want to bring him back, no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind I do want to bring him back. Don't get me wrong. KJ Simpson, if he comes back as well. I don't think I'm going to be aggressive in free agency. We kind of have our rotation. Mark Williams and KJ Simpson are the 2 guys I'm mainly focused on. And then we got to figure out at the trade deadline, do we want to make some crazy move or do we want to stay with continuity? And do we want to extend like Josh Green and Grant Williams when they ask for extensions? That's where we're at. So now that we're on day 12, we can go offer Mark Williams his salary. Now, KJ Simpson, it doesn't say I have his bird rights. So, but yeah, I think giving Mark Williams, kind of what Claxton got, I think is more than fair. So if I can give him like 22.5, maybe flat rate it, I think I'd feel good about that. So that'd be a pretty solid contract for him to come back on. 4 years, $90 million. I like it. So we're going to try to get him on that, and he does sign it W, and then KJ Simpson will be back on his qualifying offer worth $3 million. So all that is beautiful stuff. So Michael Porter's up to an 86. Brandon Miller's up to an 89. So yeah, we're pretty much, and then Tijon Salon didn't hit like another crazy development, but he still has been terrific for us, which is awesome. And then Trey Mann, Josh Green. This video is off to a beautiful start. What can I say? I mean, even KJ Simpson is technically ready to contribute. So that kind of makes, Trey Mann more expendable, makes Nick Smith expendable technically. So we have so much talent just ready to go, which is a great feeling. Now, we're going to simulate this 3rd season, and no one is off the table right now. Everyone could be moved. We just won a championship, but we don't want to stay complacent. We're at kind of a crossroads right now. Even though we just won it, like, how do we approach what we're doing next is the question we're all going to be asking ourselves. So I got to make sure we make the right decisions because, yes, I can stick with continuity, but if there is a player that's available and we can offer Porter Jr.'s salary to make it happen, like, we got to consider it. So I'm going to go 10 rotation in the regular season. We can, move bench utilization back up. So it's LaMelo, Trey Mann, Brandon Miller. So yeah, Trey Mann starting. Brandon Miller, Michael Porter, Mark Williams, Tijon Salon, Nick Smith, Josh Green, Nick Richards, and Grant Williams. That leaves KJ Simpson out of the rotation, which I feel bad about, but that's just kind of how deep we are. And then Sid Guy. I mean, what is Sid Guy listed at right now? So he's listed at power forward. He's 6'11". So I'm going to send him to the G League, but he's another guy that's probably going to be ready to contribute literally as soon as next year. So we are deep, and that's a great feeling. We're going to see how the season goes, and I will definitely stop at the deadline because either we're going to be extending Porter. So let's see if they want extensions right now. So Porter is at test free agency, but as you can see, Josh Green and Grant Williams are more than willing to sign extensions at the moment. I'm going to wait till the deadline to make those decisions, though. Michael Porter is one of those guys that definitely tests free agency. We're still going to try to get him back in free agency. But we'll see. We'll see who's available. And if it means trading Porter Jr. salary out to make it happen, I'm not opposed to it. So as promised, we are starting the trade deadline. And if I'm really looking at things, there's only one guy here that I would potentially trade Porter Jr. for. And that is Devin Booker. They're selling, and D Book and LaMelo Ball as our backcourt of the future sounds very intriguing. But do I want to do that is the question. Like, we could have a really, really, really solid team where if we moved Porter's salary right now, he's an expiring contract, we could get Devin Booker, you know, pair him with LaMelo long term. That sounds fun. It does. I don't get Devin Booker all the time. But we got to make sure it makes sense to do so. Like I said, we have so much expiring salary, so that's not really a problem. Yes, we keep things all together. We don't really have like a locked and loaded starting shooting guard. And if we get, if we get Porter Jr. out of here, we do have Tijan Salon, if we don't trade him in this trade as a power forward who's ready to play, we could put him there and he could start at power forward and that'd be fine. And that gives, Tijan Salon more minutes. So I think what I'll do is I'll try for Devin Booker. And if we can't get D-Book, then we just extend Josh Green and Grant Williams and call it a day. So we're going to see if we can assemble a trade for Phoenix to get D-Book on this team because, might as well go for it. If we're going to make a big move, D-Book is not someone to get all the time. He's shooting 26 points per game, age 30. But that gives us a LaMelo D-Book backcourt. I mean, imagine the aura on that or however, whatever they say. You know what I'm talking about. It's Devin Booker for Michael Porter. So Porter's salary will be in here. Now, D-Book is not going to be the easiest guy to get in the world. I understand that. So, do we want to throw we could throw either Grant Williams or Josh Green. I'll throw Grant Williams in here to start things off. And then let's throw, maybe throw Nick Richards in here because Sid Gee is going to be ready to play. Or we could throw Sid Gee in here as well. But I'll start with Nick Richards instead. So Richards has a little bit more trade value. And then they can give me maybe some minimums. Maybe they won't have enough money for this. I don't know. Well, technically, they're probably over the second apron now that I think about this. What am I talking about? So that might not work. If we take a look, I guess it looked like Kevin Durant left, so maybe they're not over it anymore. So Phoenix is under it. So they're under the second apron, and I believe we are too. So yeah, we can make this happen. So I just want to double check. And I think this is near 2027. It's close. We might be slightly over it, but it's close enough that I don't know what the second apron window would be or what the number would be. Then I'm fine with doing this. So I'm going to still try to make this happen. So I hope in future 2Ks, they actually have the math on it. Even though I could probably do the math myself, I just haven't done it yet. So eventually I will get to that. But let's get back to what we were doing. So Nick Richards, Grant Williams, all this for D-Book. So let's try this. So we're going to get Warren and also, Osman off them. So Porter, Grant Williams, Nick Richards. And then maybe this Miami pick is, Miami has some value. Our pick obviously probably is no value, but it's 1.5. It's not too bad. And then Dallas's pick has some value as well in 2027. So this gets us Devin Booker. We're not giving up a crazy amount of depth. Losing Nick Richards this year would suck, but it's not like the end of the world because Sid Gee is going to be ready to play next year. So this is my offer. They say no, we move on, and they do agree. So we get Devin Booker. So Devin Booker is a Charlotte Hornet. So now D-Book moves to shooting guard. He's going to go up even more, which is great. So now we'll have to figure out how we're going to do the rotation exactly, but we get Devin Booker at the trade deadline. So that's fantastic. We'll move him to shooting guard. This time we'll do this correctly. So shooting guard. And then, of course, he'll run some secondary point guard. But all that's great. And then we can extend Josh Green because, clearly we didn't trade him. So we can extend him. So extend Josh Green. And Michael Porter, we don't have to worry about his free agency anymore. D-Book, of course, will be a free agent eventually. But that backcourt is amazing. So LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Brandon Miller, Tijan Salon, Mark Williams, Trey Mann, Nick Smith Jr., Josh Green, and KJ Simpson. Now, I think we might have to call up Sid Gee from the G League. Am I able to do that? I don't know if it's going to even let me do that. So yes, I can. So you're going to have to play. You're going to have to play some minutes. We're going to need you to play some minutes because we need some backup center minutes because clearly we just got rid of our backup center, which kind of sucked. But I'm hoping he'll be very good next year. And that's where we're at. So we made the big trade for Devin Booker. We'll see if it pays off. I'm excited to see how it goes. And we'll simulate the rest of the season. But Luka Doncic is in a Clippers uniform and wins MVP. Harrington, Rookie of the Year on the Lakers. Nikola, Sixth Man and Wavy Defensive Player. Collier, Most Improved. And Luka's your clutch player on the Clippers as well. So, here's your All-NBA first team. You got LaMelo Ball and All-NBA second team. And then no Devin Booker. So, that would be kind of cool if we saw him on here as well. But we don't get him, unfortunately. So, we end up, though, as the third seed in the East, which is intriguing and exciting. So, here are your player stats. You had 24 from D-Book, 23 from LaMelo, 20 from Brandon Miller. I mean, this big three is exciting. Brandon Miller, Devin Booker, LaMelo Ball, of course, is going to be... Wow, TJ Warren, for whatever reason, averaged 16 points. I guess he played 2 games, but Tijan with 13, and then 12 from Trey Mann, 12, and then 11, and then 11. So all of that's very exciting. Let's go 9-man rotation in these playoffs, and let's see if we can come out here and get ourselves a, another championship. So Brooklyn, we got Igor, Cameron Thomas, Ace Bailey, Jalen Johnson, Claxton. So they've really built up their young core. But, we just trade for Devin Booker. We have Brandon Miller. We're not really looking to get bounced here very early, so hopefully that doesn't end up happening. So we are going to beat Brooklyn in 6. I was a little worried we were about to blow a 3-0 lead, but we beat them. And now we draw the Indiana Pacers, who have Halliburton, Nembhard, Mathurin, Siakam, Jarris Walker. Jamal Murray's come off their bench still, so that's kind of weird and bizarre, but he signed a long-term extension with them. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. Somebody come around against Indiana, and we're down 2-1. We evened it up, though. We're down 3-2. Okay, so we got to win a huge game 6 to tie the series. Hopefully we can do just that. Indiana having Jamal Murray off their bench is a little weird, but I don't even know if they could really afford that. But I guess he signed with them last year. And we are going to win game 6 to force a game 7, so that's good. And Detroit is awaiting us if we are to win this game 7. Start off hot in the first quarter, but they take it as a back-and-forth game so far. Hopefully we didn't trade for Devin Booker, just get eliminated, and we are going to go back to the conference finals. So that's huge. 27-13 from D-Book, 26 from Brendan Miller. All that's fantastic. We do draw Detroit. So Detroit at this point has Mr. Cade. They have Ivy still, Asar, Ron Holland. So yeah, pretty much the same team. They've actually kept their team together for once. They usually lose Jalen Duren, so that's kind of cool for them. Hardenstein as well. They have B-Ball Paul still, Isaiah Stewart. So they pretty much have everybody. Even Quentin Grimes went back to Detroit. All right, well, here goes nothing. Somebody come around against Detroit, and we're down 2-1. Can we even it up? No, we cannot. We're down 3-1. So Detroit has our number here. Well, let's see if we can maybe come back from the 3-1 deficit that we find ourselves currently in. There is a chance, but we might blow this, and we do, and we blow a big, massive lead. We're going to lose by 4. We get to the conference finals just to lose. That really sucks. But Pistons and Warriors, the Pistons go on to win it all, so we did lose to the team that went on to win it all. So what can you do? So we don't go back-to-back. That sucks. Kevin Durant retires a Warrior. And now we can figure out, going into year 4, how do we round up the rotation? Because clearly we've made our decision. Miami gets number 1 overall, by the way, and that pick was protected. So shout out to them for protecting that first-round pick. That was in the Terry Rozier trade, because if that was unprotected, we just traded... We would have just traded a first-round, or the first overall pick in this draft, which would have been kind of, terrible, but... it was protected, so thankfully that doesn't matter. So we get Jamal Mosley as our assistant, which I'll take, and we can go to draft night. So I believe we traded our first round pick in the Devin Booker trade as well. Yeah, so we only have a second, so I'll let my assistant GM take care of that. Salon, no brainer. We're gonna accept that. I don't know why 2K is even thinking about us declining it. So Miller, KJ Simpson, Nick Smith, all free agents. Definitely all important to bring all 3 of them back. So no brainer. We can start with Brandon Miller. Clearly, we're bringing him back. No brainer. So we'll just start there. Nick Smith is asking for $22 million. If he gets a $22 million offer, I don't know if I'll be able to match that, to be honest. But we are going to match Brandon Miller, no doubt. So Brandon Miller, welcome back. So that's fantastic. Get him back locked up. So yeah, KJ Simpson, of course, a lot cheaper than what Nick Smith is wanting. I know Nick Smith is better. But yeah, so we pretty much have a full rotation. Sid Gee, what do you do? So 3 points, 2 rebounds last year. So we could still sign like a center to maybe rely on. We can move Sid Gee to power forward if we want to do that. I'm pretty sure we're more than likely over the second apron at this point. I mean, we're up $203 million, but if we re-sign Nick Smith, we'll definitely be over it. So if we're going to get a back of 5, it's got to be a good one. But I'm kind of cool just seeing what Sid Gee does, and that's just kind of going to be my hope. But we're going to take this to probably day 12 of free agency and make a decision. If Nick Smith gets a massive offer from somebody, it's going to be really hard to match it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to day 12, and then we'll see. Maybe we can get a good center on day 12 as well. So centers, let's see. We're only going to be able to sign a minimum. So as far as centers are concerned, is there anybody here that would maybe sign a minimum just in case that Sid Gee doesn't develop at all? So I will sign Looney just in case. Not really going to be my go-to guy, but Nick Smith is down to $18 million. I think I can get behind that. If we give him like 3 years, 17, 3 years, 17 doesn't sound too bad. And then Simpson will come back as qualifying offer again. So we'll get Nick Smith and Looney, and then KJ Simpson back once again. Okay. So with that being said, Tijon Slam's up to an 83. Devin Booker, everyone's developing, which is nice. Sid Gee is up to a 77, which is great. His rebounding's up to a B, which is also fantastic. Looney, of course, goes down. So yeah, Sid Gee is going to be our backup center next year. Just sign Looney for insurance. But we're running it back for year 4. Full season of Devin Booker and LaMelo Ball. They've had a full offseason together, so we'll just kind of hope that this year goes better. We still made it to the conference finals last year. But unfortunately, of course, it didn't go our way. Detroit beat us, but hopefully this year things go a little bit differently. At the end of year 4, Luka gets another MVP award for the Clippers. Tyron Stokes, Rookie of the Year. Daniel Sixth-Man, also in the Clippers. Walker Kessler, Defensive Player. Boozer, Most Improved on the Knicks. And then Kyrie's your Clutch Player. Charles Lee, Coach of the Year. And Marlon Davis is your Executive. So, yeah, as you can see, Season 4 went very well for us. So, kind of hoping to see you get Book and Book and LaMelo on all NBA teams. And unfortunately, we're not going to get Devin Booker on here, which sucks. But it is what it is. So, all defensive team. And all defensive second team. So we are the first team in the East. So back on the map is the first seed. But here were your stats. So you had 21 from Devin Booker, 21 from Melo, 18 from Miller, 16 from Salon, 14.5 from Nick Smith, 11 and 13 from Mark Williams, 10 from Josh Green, and 9 and then 4 and 3 from Sid Gee. So let's go into these playoffs with an optimistic mindset of going back-to-back. So Atlanta no longer, or not back-to-back, sorry, getting another championship in this video. So Keontae George is here instead of Trae Young. And they also have Kuminga here in Atlanta now. Ricochet is off the bench. I mean, I hope we don't lose to Atlanta in round 1. That'd be kind of embarrassing. And we are going to beat them in 5. So we take care of them. Now we get DC, or Washington, who has Cooper Flagg, Alex Sarr. They have a very solid team. And Jalen Suggs is here as well, and Below. So that's a really good defensive backcourt that they got going. Yeah, so this could be a tough matchup. Hopefully we do beat them, though. So here goes nothing. Somebody come around against DC, and we're up 2-1. They even it up. So we are not out of the woods by any means. We got to see if we can maybe find a way to win this game 5 in Charlotte. So let's see if we can do just that. We start off with a lead here, and hopefully we just blow them out to, get to a game 6, have an advantage there. And we are going to game 6 with the lead. Tijon Salon with 44. Love to see that. So you want to give more minutes to Tijon after that. I agree. So let's do that. Game 6 in DC to avoid a game 7 and just go to the conference finals once again. And Washington's going to take over. And it looks like they are going to force the game 7 on us. So we're going back to Charlotte. Okay. Well, here goes nothing. So game 7 in Charlotte to go to the conference finals. And let's see if we can do just that. It's looking good right now. As long as we don't blow the lead. We're back in Charlotte. And we are going to beat them to get back to the conference finals. So 40 from Brandon Miller. 26 and 21, and now we draw Detroit. So Detroit beat us last year, as we know. They do have, kind of the same team, so we have our work cut out for us. Hopefully, they lost Ivy, I think. I will say that. So they did lose Jaden Ivey, so that could be huge for us. Game 1 goes to them. Okay. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3, 2-1, go up 3-1. Come on, let's go. Game 5, and we beat them. No sweat. They lose Ivy. We're probably gonna get LaMelo Ball, or sorry, not LaMelo, Luka, but no, it's gonna be the Rockets instead. So we got Jalen Green, Amin, Cameron Whitmore, Jabari, Şengün, Capella. So Capella's back in Houston. Reece Shepard, Damian Sarr, and Dylan Brooks. So all of that is great. So here we go. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. Looking good. 3-0. And we got our second championship in the video. W. I was so confident. I already said it before we even simulated game 4. So just like that, second championship of the video, and we still got one more season. So I think it makes all the sense in the world to just run it back. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to simply make sure everybody's re-signed. So that's where we'll start. So Blazers get 1. But yeah, we got one more season in us. Charles Lee is a free agent now. We got to bring him back. We've won 2 championships with him. Might as well extend the man and keep him going, even though his ratings aren't that good. But I mean, it's working with them, so we'll keep him around. Let's just go straight past the draft, and let's make sure we resign Devin Booker. Now, at the extension deadline, he was not willing to sign an extension. He wanted to test free agency. That scares me a little bit. Salon's a free agent. Simpson, once again, another free agent. Just a restricted free agent forever, I guess. So, Devin Booker. He has New Orleans offering him, and the Lakers. He has 100% interest in both of them. If we lose Devin Booker free agency to end this video, that would really suck, not going to lie. Trey Mann is also free agent. He's asking for $22 million. Holy moly. Okay, we'll figure it out. I mean, we're going to be very expensive, but we got to start here. Devin Booker, man. I mean, these are what salary contracts are going to look like in the future. So let me just start with no trade clause. Let me see if I don't have to offer no trade clause. So, all right, where's I'm going to offer? So no sweat. We're getting them back. Tijon Salon, we're going to have to pay him as well. It sucks, but that's where we're at. So Devin Booker, Tijon Salon, this team is going to be expensive, but we only got one more year, so it doesn't matter. Trey Mann, I'm going to see if I can talk him down because that is quite expensive. Not going to lie, $22 million. We're already paying Nick Smith quite a bit. He averaged 14.5 last year. But if we're trying to get one more championship out of the way, so it looks like we got Derek Callaway in the draft. So they picked him at 30. So once again, back-to-back where we hit on the 30th pick. Thanks to my assistant GM that time. All right. So Trey Man, let me make sure he's not getting offers because I wasn't even paying attention. So yeah, we're good. So far so good. 0 offers, 0 offers, 0 offers. So again, we're just gonna take him to the last day. See if we can get him for as cheap as possible. And he's gonna come down to 20. I give him a 3-year deal. Probably give him the same thing that I kind of gave Nick Smith. And that will be, you know, the last move of the video. So we're gonna run it back, same team. We're gonna hope and pray we can go back to back and end this video with 3 championships. But hey, we already got 2. So even if we don't get a 3rd one, I'm not gonna be too upset. But I'm very, very happy with how this video went. But we can confidently go one more time and see how it goes. So 4.5 proficiency. And we have, you know, Melo, Booker, Brendan Miller, Salon, Mark Williams, Nick Smith, Josh Green, Trey Man, KJ Simpson, and Sid Gee. I guess we're on a 10-man rotation, and we'll see how the regular season goes. And hopefully, like I said, go for that back-to-back and get 3 to end this one. And now for this final season, as we are the 2nd seed in the East this year. If we take a look at the stats to end this video off, you had 21 from Booker, 19 from LaMelo, 16.5 from Brendan Miller, 15.5 from Tijon Salon, 14 from Nick Smith. You had 11 and 11 and then 9 and 6. So here goes nothing. Let's go to a 9-man rotation for these playoffs, and let's see if we can go back-to-back to end this one. I am going to throw Sid Gee in over Simpson just because I feel like having, you know, a backup center is probably important for these playoffs. But we get New York, who has Brunson still. They have Cameron Boozer up to at 89 now. So it wouldn't totally shock me if we lost to this team in round 1. But here we go. Somebody current round against New York, and what did I say? You know, Boozer's developed like crazy for them. I wasn't too shocked. I was kind of expecting us to lose, and it happened. So let's go see who wins the championship to end this one off. We got 2 in this video, so I can be happy with that. Oklahoma City gets it. Chet is your Finals MVP. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was definitely a fun one. I think getting Devin Booker was a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that move. Other than that, I will see y'all in the next one. The week is just getting started. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.